Let me show you the social media automation that I use to publish to my socials. This one here publishes to LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Threads, and short form shorts, reels. We have a review system for content generation where you can review on the go the content generated from your phone or from your Telegram app. For Instagram reels and shorts, it actually creates scripts and sends to your phone, your Telegram, so that you can record it and reply to that with a Google Drive link of the video. Once everything is approved, it gets picked up for publishing and gets sent to LinkedIn, Facebook, Threads, X, and YouTube. And let me quickly demo this to you. The main sections of the system are there's a topic research that happens. You give a topic and researches in depth. Based on that research, a whole lot of content is generated and then it is reviewed using the chat system here. Let me show you quickly how this all works. This takes a while to run. I've done a lot of research before. Then I've pinned the data. I have saved the output of these actions. So for the sake of time, I'm going to use that. This research section uses SERP APIs. At the end of the research, you get a research document, which will look like this. In this case, I have asked to do a research on SEO, and then it has come back with what is SEO, all sort of different queries and research for those. So based on that research, if I say something like write about SEO, this will start running. You can see that content calendar. If I start new LinkedIn, etc., will get added here. I'm just going to stop that. It will go through Facebook and everything else after that. This is what the content calendar would look like. You have LinkedIn, Facebook, a little bit more friendlier, less professional, but I think it's kind of funny. Just write naturally, they said, then add keywords, but not too many, they said. SEO in 2024. We are in 2025. You'll have to pass in the date for that. It's like trying to hug a cactus, confusing but weirdly rewarding. And then we have Twitter, Instagram. When it comes to reels, it's just a script. Instagram, I wish someone told me this SEO secret sooner. 3-second pause. Google doesn't care about your website. Here's why. That is what your content calendar would look like. Either you can manually approve this here, publish status. If you say approved, it will get picked for publishing. In case of Instagram reels, it's video uploaded and then you have to add a video URL there, then it will get picked up. So that is a content part of it, and let me just show you the posting of it as well. You can either manually approve this or use the review system here. This run on a schedule and then that will get sent to your Telegram. Let me just quickly say approved. That is LinkedIn. That should get picked up. LinkedIn publishing schedule. You can specify multiple schedules. I think that says run every Tuesday 2 p.m. You can generate this using ChatGPT, which I will show you. But let's just test this and see how that works. So if I go to LinkedIn, I should see that there it is. Google handles billions of, I'm just going to delete that. I'll show you Twitter as well. Twitter, there is a caveat. If you don't have the premium subscription, I have to slice it, or you have to adjust the prompt. You have to cut it at 280 characters. Let's say this one is approved and that should get picked up. Let me show you this one. On my Twitter, I should see that, but it will be cut off. If you have a verified profile, I don't. It doesn't matter. Delete this, and you have one in Threads as well. Let's see. The same thing got posted here to Threads. You get the idea. So the Reels thing, how it works is, if I go to my drive, I have a folder for storing all these shorts. I've downloaded this from Pexels just for demo purposes. You need to make sure that is accessible by anyone. Copy the link. You have to do publish status, video uploaded. Short form video link would be the link from here. Share, copy link, and paste that there. And then make sure you're pasting it in the right column. Test that. All right, Instagram worked. YouTube, something failed. We'll have to check what it is. That's it. About 54 seconds ago. All right. Now, what happened here? I think there's a problem with the title. There's an escaped something, I think. Let me just copy that and just unlint it. Oh, that needs to be escaped. So let me just add that very quickly to replace any double quotes with single quotes. Let me just do that for the description as well. Probably need to change that again. Video uploaded. Try this again. Go to YouTube. I should see in the short section. Yep, there it is. Uploaded. Let's dive into it in detail. We have this topic research section here. To trigger the workflow, user types in something like write about SEO. Since I have pinned everything, it will not do the actual research now because it's time consuming. I've pinned it. This is the topic research agent. It's a tool agent. If you go here, this is the advanced AI agent, and I have attached two tools. One is a search tool and one is a scrape tool. Both are from the same service called serper.dev. To use it, you'll have to go there, sign up, create an API key. Pretty straightforward. You get 2,500 queries for free. When the user asks something like write about SEO, there's a prompt in the agent that infers what topic the user is asking about. Then it comes to the conclusion that it is SEO that the user wants to write about. It does a topic research just with that one keyword, similar to you typing in SEO into Google. That's the prompt here. Extract the topic from the user's message and do a topic search on Google. Get all the links. First search the topic and get all the links. After that, search all the people also search for queries that are relevant. Go down 2 levels. Even going down 2 levels will create about 100 content pieces. You can adjust that there. Output in JSON. JSON must not have any new lines, must not wrap in JSON Markdown. So you can copy paste that from our community to the agent, and that goes into the prompt user message here. We are passing in the user message here. User message is write about SEO. That outputs JSON like this, and I have a separate second node here. After that, it just formats it nicely and converts to an object because this one is in a string format, and I'm mapping that to output, topic search agent, JSON output as an object. Now we can see it as an object. So if I go to table, the topic is SEO, and then all the links from the search results, and people also search for queries, social media marketing, SEO optimizer, SEO course, digital marketing, all those. You get the links and the queries. Scrape initial results agent, which basically scrapes all the links. It's again a scrape tool. This is the URL, scrape.server.dev. You pass the API key like so. In header parameters, content type, application JSON, and URL, a value provided by the model. The model will pass that value to the scrape tool. Again, I am formatting the output of that node as an object. I don't actually need the parse JSON bit. If I test it again, you can see that you have the link and the queries. Where does it get these queries from? What it is doing is that it goes through each link, gets the content of the page. It looks at what the page is talking about. What queries form the page's content. Extract all the links from the research plan and scrape them. All links must be visited that are relevant to the topic. So sometimes it has like people also search for companies and some other snippets which are not really relevant. That is to skip that. Provide the scraped content for every link scraped. Do not provide commentary. So it should be the actual web page. You must only scrape links that are relevant to the topic. Look at the web page content. Look at what they're talking about and construct queries and subqueries for further research. Output JSON format there. If I go to this edit set fields, you can see for each section what are the essential elements of making site eligible for Google search. If I go to this link, search engine optimization. How does Google search work? Help Google find content. Organize your site. Help Google find content. It takes that and what steps can I take to help Google find my content? It turns that into queries so that it can do more in-depth research on just that part. That's how that works. It finally combines the queries from all the people also search for and all the section-based queries into one. That is the combine queries agent here. Combine queries comprehensively. Given a single set of comprehensive queries without omitting anything based on the data in JSON format without the JSON wrap. Combine queries from data in a flattened structure. Data is given here at the end of the prompts. That will look like this. Combine queries from data. The data is the initial topic and links, and also the second set of queries, the section-based queries from the scrape agent. When that is done, if I test this step, I'll get all the queries in a big array. Hopefully that is clear. So creates queries for each section, search agent, and then we go to search agent. So we have this big list of queries now. All the queries are given there in the prompt, if you can see. For all these queries, run a search and return the results. All these prompts are available again in search agent here in our community. Okay, I have to just copy that. Perform one search per query during testing, perform 10 searches max. You have to remove it when going to production or just limit it to some maximum iterations if you don't want your server to get overloaded. This is what it looks like. For each search queries, run a search and return the result. So all the queries are passed. Return the output in a JSON array. That will essentially look like how does Google search work? And those are the top 3 links. What are the essential elements of making a site eligible for Google search? And again, those are the top 3 links. For each link, there are 3 links returned. So you get different outputs from different pages. Things are a bit more factual because it's not depending on just one article's information. After that, the scrape agent scrapes all the URLs returned for each queries and compiles the research report. The output of that will look like the content research here. That is a query. How does Google search work? And then all those 3 links are scraped. It tries to then answer that query based on the content from those pages. So if you go to ChatGPT, this will be the same results. So if you say, what are the essential elements of making a site eligible for Google search? If I go to ChatGPT, if you enable search, if you look at the result, technical requirements, spam policies, key best practices. ChatGPT, technical requirements, spam policy, key best practices. It's basically this. You can also use GPT-4o search model, but it's a bit more expensive. That's why I do this workaround. The search is done for you in that when calling, you don't have to do this extra scraping bit because it is already done for you by ChatGPT backend. That is another way of doing it. Instead of the tool call, you can just change this to, I believe it is called ChatGPT 4o search preview. It will do exactly the same thing. Maybe a bit more expensive. It's same as 4o, I think. Let me show you how that works. Open the chat. Right about SEO, you can see that it's doing the tool calls and the model is working. It's doing that initial search. This will take a lot of time. I'm going to stop it. So for our purposes, I'm going to disable these for now because we already have the research report available. So you can practically plug in this research system to any sort of like content creation. All we need is this Google Sheet right now to create our rest of our content. So now is the generate content part. Let me again show you, go through the nodes once more. So this is the chat trigger node. If you go to chat triggers, it will be chat trigger. This one, topic search agent, that is AI, advanced AI. Then the AI agent node. The prompts are set in the user message and also you set in the system prompt. More dynamic things that you put in the user prompt and more relevant things, but more of the how the agent should behave, that will be in the system prompt. These are all AI agents. These ones are here just converting the string. So most of these agents output in string format. So if I enable that, and that will get converted into objects. So these edit fields are literally edit fields, set node. Models are most of them are using GPT-4o Mini and returning the response in JSON format. You'll have to create credentials of OpenAI account. Search tool is an HTTP request tool. So if I click on tool, this is the HTTP request tool. The first one is Serper dev search endpoint. The scrape tool uses scrape.serper.dev. Authentication is passed in both tools using header parameters, X API key and the API key in there. The search tool accepts a query queue and how many results to be returned. This is the Google Sheet node, which the Google Sheets node here. Enter the credentials here. You'll have to add your client ID and client secret, which you can get from Cloud Console. Sheet within a document. This is basically saying write to content research. That's the name of this document. And to write to sheet 1, map each column manually. The first one will be the query and then the research and the sources, the links, basically the sources, links, and the topic is SEO. And minimize API calls is because you have Google will API rate limit you if you do multiple calls in succession. So that is to batch it. Moving on to generate content section, pretty straightforward. So let me just go through LinkedIn calendar agent. The main portion here is the agent prompt. It's in the prompt that we give the requirements, the rules, and the formatting, what not to include, etc. The best practices. You can use ChatGPT to come up with this prompt. I recommend DeepSeek or any reasoning models. Quen is pretty nice as well. For this, we are using DeepSeek chat model. I've tested with Reasoner Chat. I haven't tested with Claude, so you can test that as well. But I like the output that DeepSeek usually gives. This is actually Chinese servers. So if you don't want to use this, you can actually use an open router account and access DeepSeek hosted within the US. That's how you do that. There are other Harvard model also here if you want to try it out. In our school community, we have the LinkedIn agent create one plus professional LinkedIn post, research data and meets these requirements. Copy paste this prompt into the agent. LinkedIn post look like this. Ever wondered how Google search actually works? Here's a breakdown of 3 key stages. Not bad. I like these formats. I wouldn't necessarily want these hashtags. Tweak that if you want to avoid it. The same thing with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram agent. The prompts are available here. Just copy paste that. And these are all, again, AI tool agents. You could maybe do it in one agent for different platforms, but as the prompt gets bigger, it forgets a lot of stuff. And if I test that step, you can see that the output comes like that. Then it splits the 2 posts into 2 items. Here as the output, it's a one item with 2 posts in it. Now this converts into 2 items so that this one gets run twice, the next node. That is the Google Sheet write node. Again, append row. We are doing a append operation and map each columns manually. So the ID is created with this function. You can copy paste that. It's a JavaScript random method. Nothing sophisticated there. The platform is LinkedIn. Post is the post gotten from there. And the publish status is empty. Sources will be this one here. Loop over items, sources. I will join that with a new line. Test up. Yeah, it has written that. The last entry should be LinkedIn. Google handle millions of searches daily. That's how that works. Same with Facebook agent. Only thing is that the prompt changes. In the case of Instagram, instead of the actual post itself, I am asking it to create a script. Create one plus viral ready scripts, 30 to 60 seconds combining platform native trends. This is the prompt here in the community. You can just copy paste it again. Instead of the actual post, this is a script. I wish someone told me SEO secret sooner. Google doesn't care about your website. So this I can read off when recording the video. That's the idea. The review system is nothing complicated. So we have a couple of triggers that run on a schedule. Once the content is generated, this flow, when enabled here, if you toggle that from inactive to active, I have this because this comes to my phone. If I go out and about, I can review there. If you don't prefer that, you can just manually edit the content calendar page, but then you'll have to use ChatGPT or something to refine it. In this case, I'll have my Telegram open here. Let me just clear the chat. This is a schedule trigger node. Schedule. And this one is the Telegram node. You have to connect to your Telegram account. Watch my other videos for connecting this. You have to chat with a guy called BotFather on your. So if you look at BotFather, you click on new bot and then follow the prompts. And resources message. The operation is send and wait for response. Client chat ID you can get from your Telegram by finding get ID bot. So if I search for get ID bot, say start, and it will give you the chat ID. And the message is, do you want to review some content with me? Have you got time? And response type is approval. You have type of approval, approve and disapprove. Let's do it, not now. You'll see this in a second. So if I test this now here, then go to my Telegram, I have a new message. Do you want to review some content with me? Have you got time? Then I'll say, let's do it. And then I'll have to open that and confirm. Then it will show me the first one to review. So please review the script for LinkedIn for row number 2, content ID that. Here's a post. Ever wondered how Google search actually works? And then I'll probably say, can you remove the hashtags? Then I'll send it back, but I have to trigger the second workflow. When active, it will get picked up, but during testing, you have to have that. So when you click on test workflow, that will process that message. Now it should come back. So yeah, just remove the hashtags and I'll say I approve of that. Let's first do the test workflow first, and we'll say waiting for trigger event and then send. So you are replying to this message. You don't want to do that immediately. You can come back to this message and reply to that. And now it's updating the content calendar. Content approved. Your LinkedIn post row ID. The hashtags are removed. That was the very first row. And then that has been marked as approved. And then when this workflow runs on a schedule, LinkedIn publishing schedule runs, that will get picked up and will be published. There you go. Delete that. So what does this do? This one is a Telegram node, sends that, let's do it. Do you have time? Message. This one reads the first row matching the publishing status has an empty value. The first row will be returned, and that is specified here. Return only the first matching row. Will always return the first matching row and not more than one row. You have the credentials, resources, everything else is the same. That gets sent to Telegram. That's how we receive that message. This one here is the Telegram trigger on message. So if you look at that, that's what comes through. The text is please review the script for LinkedIn. That is the reply to message text, and our text is approved. In the prompt, it will look like this. The user has responded to message with reply approved. While reviewing the content, send in the message. Please review this script. We are always sending the content ID and the raw number from the Google Sheet. In the workflow before here, in this Telegram node, please review the script for LinkedIn, and the raw number and the ID, content ID from the Google Sheet, so that the model knows what to retrieve using this read content calendar tool. Whenever it needs that context, it uses the read content calendar tool and passes in the column ID value, which is extracted from the message, if that makes sense. When it says the user is replying to this message, it knows that this is a content ID and get that more information. If this is a revision flow, get the content from calendar using the content tool and make the requested changes if the user has requested revisions. Send the revised content back to the user in chat using send message to user Telegram tool. Send it in a way that you will be able to identify the message later when the user replies. Do not use the approve tool here. If the user's message is an approval message, then only use the content tool to set the Google Sheet record column publish status. Correctly update the right column. Again, copy this from our community. The second part of this is, if I just copy one of the Instagram columns, I cut that and bring it to the top, paste, that will be the first row. To picked up, the publish status is empty. So that will be what will get sent to me. Test that workflow, and then I'll receive that message. Let's do it. Open. So when I'm out and about, it's easy to do. Then here's a post. Please review this script for Instagram. And I'll say add line breaks and make it readable. And of course I have to run this. All right. So now that is better. I'll say that looks good. Approved. Let's run that again. If you go there, that is approved, the Instagram reel. Line breaks are added. So the next trigger is just for Instagram scripts. What it does is essentially the same thing, but ask the user for a video URL link from Google Drive for the recorded video, or remind the user to record the video. Run that, and then it will be, do you want to record some short reels? I'll just say that. Then it will send me the approved script. I don't have to immediately reply to that. I can come back. Once I have filmed the video, I will upload the video to this Google Drive. Make sure this Google Drive folder has sharing permissions, and once the video is uploaded, get share and make sure that it is anyone with a link and copy that link. I'll just filmed it. Here is the video URL. I will send the URL assuming this is running, and I reply to that script. Your video URL has been successfully updated for content ID. If I go to content calendar, the URL is there. And when you run the publish part, that will get picked up and or get published to IG. So that's the review system. Let's move on to publishing, how to set up the credentials and everything like that. Publishing part now. So any content that has been approved will be picked up for the text-based publishing, and any content that has been marked as video uploaded will be picked up for reels or shorts. All these workflows have a common theme to it. It runs on a schedule. And this cron, if you want it to run every day at 2 p.m., for example, you can just ask ChatGPT something like, give me cron for running every day at 2, 4, and 5 p.m., for example. And then you copy that, and in your schedule trigger, that is this, in the trigger interval, instead of choosing seconds, minutes, or hours, anything like that, you select custom cron, and then you put that in there. So that's basically it. You can have different schedules for different platforms. You can add more platforms. You can separate these two platforms if you want. You can add more platforms here. If you want to treat the shorts and reels separately, threads and Twitter separately, you can do that as well. The second one is a Google Sheet node, Google Sheets account. Create the credential, enter your credentials here. Sheet within a document, operation get rows. We are reading from content calendar, and we are adding these filters here. Publish status must be approved, and the platform column must be LinkedIn. And if that is the case, we are using a LinkedIn node. You have to create credentials for LinkedIn, create new credentials, and I have the setup instructions in community or ask ChatGPT, go to LinkedIn credentials. What you need to do is go to access the developer portal, LinkedIn developer apps. So that's the URL over there, developers apps new. And then you add your app name, and you need to have a LinkedIn page. So if you don't have a LinkedIn page, you'll have to click on this create new LinkedIn page. So you'll have to do that first. Company, fill out the details, name, and industry. Once that is done, you copy the LinkedIn page URL here. The URL will look like something like that. Privacy policy is not mandatory, but logo is. And after that, you click create app. Once that is done, you'll be taken to this page here. You will see your app. Click on your app. After that, you go to products. These two will be down here when you come initially here. You'll have to request access. You'll have to add these two. Share on LinkedIn and sign in with LinkedIn using OpenID Connect. Authentication keys, and this will not be filled in. You'll have to add in your callback that you get from this URL in the LinkedIn node. You have to copy that. Select standard. You can disable this, disable legacy as well, and paste in your client ID. Connect my account. If you click connect your account, so after connecting your LinkedIn node, select resource post and create post as a person, and your name will be automatically populated here, and JSON post will be the next one in line. If I go to content calendar and say approved, that if I come here, if I read the next row, that will be JSON post will be the content from the Google Sheet. Once you finish that, it will be uploaded to your LinkedIn. Let me just delete that. It's the same process for other publishing steps as well. Facebook credentials, a little bit different. Go to developers.facebook.com, click on My Apps, create a new app, give a app name and your email, click on Next. We are going to click Other, Next. Why is it showing me in Vietnamese? So the app type is business. This is basically business. Select business. No business portfolio selected. You can create a business portfolio if you want. Then create app. Enter your password, and that will create the app. From here, you'll have to add Instagram and Facebook login for Facebook. So you don't have to do anything here. You can just save the changes. Also add Instagram setup. Again, the same thing. There's nothing needed. You can generate the access token for which Instagram account you want to post to. So click yes, and then you'll be asked to log into Instagram account and login. Go to app settings, basic, and a privacy URL. I'm just going to keep my privacy URL there. Go live. After going live, you go to Tools, Graph API Explorer, and select your app and add the permissions, other, Instagram basic, Instagram content publish video also maybe, manage comments, for this, business management, page manage pause, pages show list, select the page access. So let's do hash AI, generate access token. You'll have to go through the thing and then copy it. Go to access token debugger, paste that in, extend access token, copy that, come back here, save, retry. Okay, that is connected. And test. There you go. So that is done. If I go to my Facebook page, I should see that. So that's how you do Facebook connection. For Twitter, go to X credentials developer.x. This is highly rate limited. You can post about like 1500 posts a month and 50 posts in a 24-hour period in the free plan. So you come to developer.x.com and then click on get started and then click on the free option, and under your default project you can add a new app there. When you don't have an app already, there will be a create a new app option. After that, you set up the authentication settings. Click read and write direct message, web app, automated app or bot. This callback URI would be the same as when you create a new credentials. This is the callback URI that you have to provide there. The root domain address of your n8n as well. Then save that. Once you do that, you have to regenerate all the tokens. Copy the client ID and client secret into the n8n node. If you get a message something like check your credentials, sometimes the errors won't say what it actually is. So I was getting the credential error when my tweet was over the character limit. So make sure all that is done properly. And for threads, it's pretty much the same thing. My apps, Facebook, create a new app, threads, n8n, and go ahead. This time, select access the threads API next and use the portfolio and go to dashboard. Pretty simple. You click, so you add the threads content publish, threads delete, threads keyword search, manage reply, basically thread read replies, content publish, go to app roles, and then add people and select threads tester, add your handle for threads, and then add your account. After that, you go to your threads account. Down here in settings, go to account, go to website permissions, invitations, and you'll see the invitation, and then just accept it. If you refresh this page, you'll be added as a threads tester. And to generate a token for thread, you have to go to Graph API Explorer, select our app, threads n8n, get token, and make sure this is changed to threads.net, and click on generate access token, continue, copy that token. And in our workflow, this token is only valid for like an hour. That is not very useful. I have a small section here in the workflow to exchange the short token for a longer token. So in the set short token edit set field, set your short token, make sure that client secret is set properly. If you go to app settings basic, you will see the threads app secret, copy that, log in, and copy that threads app secret, paste that in there, and then test that. That should give you a long-lived token. The long tokens need to be refreshed. That also expires every 60 days. So we have a schedule cron run here that is scheduled to run every 28 days. It is 60 days. You can run every 50 days or 59th day to refresh it. So you're setting your long-lived access token here. So whenever it is about to expire, it will renew the token. That is this workflow here. Test your workflow, and then token will not change, but its expiry will change. Use our new long access token. So set that there, and then approved. Let's disable this route. You should also change the app user ID here. To get the user ID, go to Graph API Explorer, threads.net, generate threads access token, do the same thing again. This is just to get the user ID. Submit, and you will get that ID. So replace that with the test the step. Now it should create the post. And the same thing here in publish, you need to change that object ID to whatever you just copied from there and publish that. So that's basically it. So if I test that, yeah, there's a character limit on threads as well. So I'm just going to slice it, manually play that, pin that, and then finally write it. Here I have to unpin that for that to work. You'll see that in your Twitter here, delete that. Also in your threads account, that is, yeah, it is being cut off. 500 character limit there. So you'll have to adjust your prompt a little bit to specify 500 character limit for threads. And next up is Reels publishing. So again, the same procedure to get the reel. Let's change the reel to video uploaded. So that should get picked up. So what's happening here is that URL is read from the Google Sheet upload link. So that will look like something like this. But if you go to that URL, it has all these buttons and stuff like that around it. So it's not actually a video, it's actually an HTML page. So we are trying to convert that into just video. So after conversion, the URL will be like this. So if I open that up, that will just get downloaded. Yeah, see? So we need that direct link. This bit of code gets this ID from the URL, which is basically this ID, after the d/ and before view. There's a form for all the direct download links. It is always in this format, drive.google.com/uc export download, and then you pass in the extracted ID as the ID parameter. It's basically taking that ID and creating this URL. That's what that bit of code does. Publishing to IG is done in 2 steps. Creating a container. First, you have to note down the parameters post, Graph API version. Node has to be the user ID. To get that ID, come back to your Facebook app, not the Threads one, the one with Facebook permissions. You'll have to add an account under generate access tokens, the same way you did for Threads. Log in with your password, Instagram account, and then you would say access and manage messages, allow. Now you get the ID. So that's that ID over there, this one. The media type will be Reels, and we are passing the video URL parameter and the direct download link there. That is how you create a container. Once you create a container, you get an ID from that, and you'll have to wait a little bit because it takes time for the video to get uploaded and processed. And after that, you use another Facebook node. Everything else is the same. Only thing is that this time you are passing a creation ID parameter, the container ID that we got from the previous operation. Same credentials, post method. When that is executed, reel would be actually published. For YouTube, this is an HTTP request node. The same method. On self-hosted N8N installations, the YouTube node doesn't work. So I'm using a HTTP node. YouTube account credentials, get the credentials from Google Cloud Console. Upload content type in the headers is video star. The next node, we are downloading that video using that direct link. Change the published status to video uploaded and remove the published date. Test step. One item. Let's pin that. Let's play this. This one creates the upload link for YouTube. And this one downloads the video from the direct download link. So if you test that, you will see it is a binary file. The next one is the same thing using a put method. The URL comes from the previous create upload link location parameter. This is where you're going to upload the downloaded video using a put and content type is video star. Enable this send body and change the body content type to N8N binary file and data. Test that. That will get uploaded to YouTube. Let's now upload it. Let's have a look at our channel content in shorts. There it is. It's processed the video now. This is published in private mode. So if you want to make it public, you come to this node and change the JSON here. Locate the status, privacy status, and change that to public if you want it to be public. That's the whole social media system. So that's pretty much it. The workflow is available on my Gumroad. You will get that on my school as well. All the prompts and everything is in our community on school. All the links are in the description. That's it. I'll see you in the next one.